I think if you make music or write music, like obviously when you start mixing and recording and all that, you end up becoming so like hyper focused on it, and you listen to it at a level that 90% of people never listen to music. So it becomes like it's an activity. Listen, I don't passively like listen to music. No. I'm listening to it. It's got my like sole attention.
I don't know. I just, since, playing music now for a living for the past 3 years or whatever, and listening to all the music every night, like when you're opening for somebody, and then you think, when you're like, before you get into this, you're like, man, I'm going to go listen to the headliner tonight, afterwards. After like the first month of doing that, you're like, I ain't listening to the headliner tonight. I'm going to sit in the van.
Yeah, because they ain't listening to you. You have the lofty idea that they're going to be like standing side stage.
They don't. Which sometimes they do. But
great job, buddy.
Yeah, no. And it's just I don't know, it's a task to listen to music now. And I hate to say that. I hope consumers don't feel the same way.
I do think it's just different when you make it.
I think so, yeah.
Because you just get wore out on it.
You do. It's, I don't know, it's a weird thing, really, because that's kind of, I don't know, I almost get stuck where I don't even want to write either, like pick it up.
For sure.
It's just
tired of it.
Yeah, you're tired of it.
Here's a question. I don't know if I'm the only one, because it makes me feel a little bit like a narcissist. But for me, the reason I really started playing music and writing songs, I focused on writing things that like I wanted to hear.
Right.
Which is a little bit odd, because I guess that's ultimately pretty arrogant, right? Like you think you like have pretty good stuff, right? That's the only reason you write it.
Right.
And then you listen to it, and then if I want to hear some music, I just write it.
Right.
Is that weird? Do you do that?
I don't know. I don't really think about it like that, but I mean, that's a pretty interesting take on it. I don't think it's weird. I mean, everybody's got their own way of why they want to write. I couldn't tell you why I want to write. Or in the beginning, I don't know why I wanted to.
Now you just do it for the money.
Well, hey, I'm not going to tell you that I'm not, but I promise you I'd be doing something else if I wasn't making money at this. I promise you. I'd be doing
totally,
something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, people will tell you all day long that, oh yeah, it's all about the songwriting. It's all about that. Like, yeah, it is about having that craftsmanship and that quality. But I'll tell you what, if I wasn't making money at this, I wouldn't be driving down the highway for 15 hours from Colorado home in the middle of the night, and it ain't worth it for that.
No, it's definitely not. You have to have some, but at the same time, because I agree with you, like there has to be some sort of financial viability for it.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't doing it for a living, I would still write some songs.
Oh yeah.
Play my guitar.
I would too. And that's the way it started out. This was, I think, I don't know everybody, but it's dang sure how it started out for me. I was just writing songs for fun, and I'd play them on my front porch in my house in college, and nobody was listening, but I was still writing the songs, and had a whole booklet full of them. And then I don't know, friends just convinced me to make an album, and then it became a job.
So your friends were kind of your sounding board.
Yeah, and honestly, my parents too. They really pushed me in the beginning to do it. I don't know why, or I don't know. I guess obviously your parents want to see you succeed, but yeah, they were like, you really need to do something about this. And yeah, I did.
Were they into music? Or did they play? Or?
No, they don't play anything at all. No music background at all. I've always played music, and they've always been supportive of that. But yeah, I don't know why they wanted me to do that. I don't know. Never asked them.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of parents wouldn't really support you going down the highway being a musician, but mine did. So, yeah.
So, but they don't play any instruments or nothing?
No, they don't play anything. My mom's brother, my uncle, he taught me to play the drums whenever I was real little. And so I've always played the drums, I quit playing drums at probably junior high. Started playing guitar, singing in high school.
But you got that rhythm bug.
I guess, something like that.
Seems like there's a lot of good songwriters that all came from like the drumming world.
Right, yeah. Sometimes I play on Chase's drum kit at the shows.
I think I've seen
sound
you do
check.
I think I've seen you do it
I don't
before.
quite have it like I used to, but
I don't have it at all. And
I've
never had it.
Really?
No, I just can't do it. I mean, I can play like one simple little straight beat, but
yeah,
it's
funny. You think that it'd be pretty. I mean, I used to think that, oh man, it's not that hard to play the drums. But then like you get some of my other band on the drums, like guitar player, like Ryan, he gets over there and it's not that great. Yeah,
I was looking for something inspirational.
No,
no, he's bad.
no, yeah, no, like, and I don't know. I guess at least I had some kind of background on the drums. You would think people would be able to keep a beat or something, but I guess it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like if you sat behind it at all and just kind of poked around on it, you could maybe keep like one little hi-hat snare thing. But some people just don't have it.
I guess not. I don't know.
I think it helps the songwriting for sure.
Yeah, to know what the drums are doing in your head while you're writing it.
Because you kind of self-produce it.
Yeah, I definitely do that a lot. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you have the whole thing kind of mapped out?
Pretty much, yeah. Of course, it changes so much when you get in there, but at least I have a lot of structure in my head when we go to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very beneficial.
Your first album?
Yeah, no structure.
Well, what do you mean?
I had no clue what I was doing.
Really?
Yeah, I was pretty green. I had a buddy, Mason Mark. I don't know if you've heard of him at all. Is
that how I say it? I always said Merrick.
I say Mark. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
is it the same? I think it's the same guy.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same guy.
Okay.
He's got that song Drifter. So that's his biggest one.
I don't think I've ever met him, but
yeah, he's a great dude, man. And he kind of, I guess, really, honestly, he was kind of a big start for me. Also, he lived 15 minutes down the road from me. Not even 15 minutes. I could be at his house probably 10 minutes. And he started when I started playing in college, just picking around. He started asking me to come out and play with him at some acoustic gigs just to help him out. Song swap. And, 6 months of that playing with him and just having fun at it. I guess that's kind of what maybe gave me the.
What year was that?
It's probably starting in 2018 because that's
so wild.
I did my first album in 2019.
That's right.
But yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
It also helped that I was a huge music fan myself. Like in college and everything, I mean, I'd be at a show. If I wasn't at a rodeo, then I was at a concert, literally every single weekend.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a rodeo, I was at Harry's or going to New Braunfels or somewhere and going and watching a band.
So you were still in school?
Yeah. I released my first album, my senior year of college, but I graduated in December and I released it in September, I think. So I had
so not even that close.
Yeah, I had a couple months of being in the bars with it. Not a lot of time, but I feel like that helped. You can see my face in there in the bar in College Station.
Totally,
because that's where I was. Home base right there.
It helps a lot having some college age kids.
Yeah,
that can kind of band around you a little bit.
Yeah, I think it helped, but yeah.
And so, how long did you play before that? When did you really first start playing guitar?
Junior high.
Really?
Yeah, I picked up a guitar in junior high. I always had guitars before that, but I didn't know how to play them. Literally like 3 or 4 just laying around the room from my uncle, but never knew how to play them. In junior high, I started playing them, and yeah. I didn't sing till high school. I didn't get a word out until then.
Really? Well, how'd you start doing that? Just
one day I started singing. Yeah. Sang a song for my parents one day in the kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it like any good?
It was a Randy Rogers, Lost and Found.
Who's Randy Rogers?
Yeah, right? Never heard of that guy.
Nah. Lost and Found. That's a good song. It's also a Brooks and Dunn song. Not the same song. But Brooks and Dunn has a good Lost and Found.
I don't think I've heard that one. Maybe
really?
I'm sure I have.
Lost and Found in a border town.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's the Randy Rock? Check the Lost and
Check the
Found.
Lost and Found. Yeah, that was the first one for me to sing out loud.
That's a jam, dude.
Yeah.
Was that so? You definitely, and major influences were out of like the Texas country.
Yeah, from an early age. Cross Canadian Ragweed, I had all of their CDs that they had made up to that. Whenever I was like 10 years old, my uncle gave me all of their CDs that they had made up to that. And I listened to those things literally every single day. Every day on the way to town, I'd be in the back seat and I'd have my headphones on with my CD player, and I'd listen to them things all day, every day.
Yeah.
It was like kind of always Texas country or whatever you want to call it from the beginning. That and ZZ Top and some other stuff.
Yeah, you always throw isn't it Sharp Dressed Man in your set?
Yeah, we do the intro to it because it goes into the Tall Boy song that I have because we talk about ZZ Top in it. So we we changed it up recently. We just do like the intro to Sharp Dressed Man while I'm talking, and then it goes straight into Tall Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, ZZ was a pretty big influence on me too, really. I mean, I think I had a couple of their CDs, but like whenever the age of streaming kind of came around, or Pandora, like that was they had this thing called Slacker Radio. It was like right before Pandora. It was the same concept.
Slacker?
Just a different app. Yeah, Slacker.
Really? I've never even heard of that.
I had it, and man, I probably was on that thing for like 2 years, just on I think it was probably on my parents' phone.
It's called Slacker what?
Slacker Radio. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. It might not even be an app.
Well, we're about to find out.
It's just
I've literally never even heard
It's literally just like Pandora, but I think it was before Pandora.
You have to pay for it?
I don't think I did.
Of course you didn't, right?
No. You could just create stations. That's right. So I would have like 50 stations created because you only got 6 skips, right. Per station.
You just
so I had like 50 stations,
totally,
man, and I just keep on skipping.
I don't think they have it live one. I don't even think it's a thing.
It's probably not. No, it's old. I mean, shoot, I was probably 12, 13 years old.
Boy, that was like MySpace time.
Yeah,
probably.
I remember kids older than me, they would be on MySpace, but it's probably around the same time.
You weren't cool enough yet,
man.
On MySpace.
Man, I didn't even get an Instagram or a Facebook till like, I don't know, freshman in high school or something.
Yeah,
it just I don't know. I didn't even.
Isn't it crazy to think like how fast all that stuff took over?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
I mean,
even like the streaming, it's been pretty fast, really, if you think about it.
Dude, we hit it like at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yep. I actually think it just happens so fast, man. I think it's harder to get just like organic exposure really quickly, like on Spotify now. Than
harder
it was
now?
Even than just 3-4 years ago.
Well, I think there's just, I don't know. There's just a lot more people, it seems like now.
Trying to do it.
And I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention as much back then. Or now more that I'm more involved, maybe it just looks like there's more people, but it feels like there's more people.
I would agree.
More content.
Yeah.
Definitely more content.
It's a double-edged sword because it makes people like you and I, gives us the ability to just make music and put it out to like a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then also like every person that thinks they can play the guitar and write a song is able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it like,
and they can do it pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Some of them do it really bad too, though.
Yeah.
So it saturates the market. So it like when you're first starting out, like if you are really good, it's kind of hard to like, get through all that.
Dive through the waters. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. But I love streaming. I ain't gonna lie.
Dude, it's changed my life.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here. Sitting right here talking to you if it wasn't for Spotify.
Yeah, me neither.
Apple Music and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to complain about it, but
I don't think they really understand it.
I have zero complaints about it.
I was talking to, do you know Co's new drummer, Jarrod Easterling? Have you met him yet?
I have not met him, but I know who he is.
Yeah, we were talking about, because he came from the rock world, Christian rock, right?
Yep.
So he helped develop that band he was with, so they still get some royalties and stuff like that. But we were talking about like a lot of these guys that maybe sign record deals or sign with managers, before streaming really took off. So like after 2010, 2014, 13, whatever.
Yeah.
I think this is speculation, but I think a lot of those record deals probably took a big chunk of their streaming royalties. Because the deal was like, oh, there ain't no money in streaming.
Right.
Yeah. And so if they just give you enough, you're like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's no money in it.
Right.
But then, you got like a guy like you that comes along where it's, when you get the whole chunk of it,
you get the whole piece. Yeah.
This is actually pretty meaningful. Good. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I ain't complaining about my check.
No, but they finally figured out the infrastructure to like be able to actually collect the money.
Right.
You don't have like LimeWire anymore. You don't have Napster.
Right.
You got to pay for it. They found a way to like.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked through your itemized thing? Like, I don't know who your distributor is. I use DistroKid.
I use my first stuff is on CD Baby, but the rest of it's been on TuneCore.
Yeah. Why'd you switch to TuneCore?
I got in a bind actually during COVID when we were trying to release. I think it was "Take Away This Pain," a single, and man, it wasn't working. Like I think because like their offices or whatever were closed down with COVID or whatever.
Whoa.
And my early manager at the time, Alex Torres, he knew people over there.
Know that you were with Alex?
Yeah, man. We worked together for probably I don't know, close to 6 months or something. There in the very beginning, and then we just went ways. Wasn't nothing bad. It was just at the time I felt like, a young artist, I think you can do a lot of things on your own to start out with. And,
Sure.
And yeah, but anyways, he knew some guys over there at TuneCore, and it was like, hey, we're in a bind. The release is not pushing through, and we had already announced a release date because you upload it, everything's great. Oh yeah, we're releasing now. Okay. Well, then it wasn't going to, and so he called over to TuneCore, and we kind of pushed some stuff through, and we got a rush order, and we got it out in time.
Really?
Yeah.
How that's weird.
Yeah, it was a weird deal. I was very scared to death.
No kidding.
Because I never want to do that again. But yeah, it was just all like the COVID stuff, when the whole world was shut down. It was like right when it all started happening,
Yeah.
And had to kind of do some maneuvering.
Yeah, for sure. So that was like right when you started out.
I was right before it. I was, 6 months before it or so, before the whole world shut down.
Yeah.
When I released it, yeah.
Yeah, see, so it's like you did well through the COVID thing.
I did, man. I mean, we exploded through the COVID thing. I mean, not exploded, but that was our growth period,
totally.
And I think it helped me. COVID did.
Why do you think that?
I didn't have to get out there and play shows and look bad. Because I had no clue what I was doing.
Really?
I mean, at all. It took a huge learning curve for me. I was so green, still
What
green.
do you think are the main things that you like have gotten better at in terms of your performance?
Man, there's just so much that goes into it. Just the little things, even not necessarily just the performance. I mean, obviously the performance, but building the band, building the structure of your set, and even just your equipment. I mean, we started out with nothing. Mm-hmm. Like we could throw our amps and the drum kit in the truck, and that was all we had. Mm-hmm. And now, we need to upgrade because we're full.
Sure.
And I think there's just so much that I didn't have a clue how to do, and I think I might have quit. I don't know if I'd have quit, but I might have burned out to where I was completely broke. And I think it saved me a lot of money, honestly, to kind of get that. Hell, I was getting the royalty check, not playing, but
sure,
kind of save up and learn what I was doing before I went and did it. Because I rushed into it. I mean, I just went and recorded this album, put it out, didn't have a clue what I was doing, and then all of a sudden, hey, you want to play over here? It's like, yeah, got to find a band. Which is the complete wrong way to go about it.
Is that not one of I used to get like super, super nervous.
Right.
Like bad.
Before the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still do, but it's more it's not, before it was like out of control nervousness because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
So it's just like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. Now it's like I'm excited.
Right.
It's more of those types of nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a lot of that?
I think in the beginning, I did have a little bit of nervousness. I can remember the first real big show that we played. Opened up for Roger Krager at Southern's in College Station. It's a bar there in the mall, and we were all backstage, and like
that place shut down.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all backstage, and we were barely a band. We'd been practicing for a few weeks or something, a month tops, something like that. I just remember my bass player at the time, he all looked at us. He's like, y'all just stay calm, man. Like, this is going to be good. And I was so freaking nervous. I mean, it was a packed house, like a huge crowd in this place. And we get up there, supposed to play for an hour. I think we probably played 50 minutes or something because I didn't have a clue, Mm-hmm. But tried to time it and practiced. Oh, yeah, I think we're good. And, I can remember like those first few shows like that being like, man, are we going to be able to put this together? Like play a full show?
It's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah.
And now I don't have any nervousness about our capability. The only thing that gets me even like a little bit on edge or something before the show is just equipment working, like line checking. I'm real big on line checks before we go up there. And like, I don't want to get up there in the first song. You start singing, hey, my vocal's not on. What's going on here?
Totally.
Or hey, I don't have any power in my board. That's what gets me nervous.
Totally. Well, because it's out of your control.
It's out of your control. And when you're up there, you're up there. And you got to have somebody good side stage that knows what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find somebody right now. And we brought out a really great sound guy with us this past weekend. We had 2 bigger shows, so we really needed somebody. And man, he was just so on top of it. And like the first night went so well that like the second night before the show, I was, starting to get those nerves. And I was like, you know what?
Went away.
This dude knows what he's doing, and like I have no fear to get up there, and I know everything's going to work.
Does it have getting rid of some of that anxiety? Does it have a pretty good effect on like how you perform?
I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah. At least the first few songs, you get up there and you're like, man, you're listening around, you're listening in your ears. You're like, everything's good. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now we can do this,
Did the in-ears take you a while to get used to?
Not really. We got our in-ears and we went on like a 4-day run right out of the bat with them. And, we just upgraded 3 weeks ago to a new system. Mm-hmm. It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very high dollar ones I'm leasing. So
where are you leasing them from?
Leaf custom cases and stuff. He's got some.
So that's probably the way to do it. I've thought about it, but leasing some of this stuff, because it's like it goes out of date.
It does. Yeah.
No time. The software.
Well, and if something breaks or something, then you just take it back and he gets you a new one. As long as you didn't purposely throw it across the stage or something. But yeah, no, man, we love him. He got us a great setup and they sound awesome. So much better than what we had, because ours were old and just like you said, they go out of date, and I think ours are at least probably 6 years old or something like that. So yeah,
I bought a used system.
Yeah,
and it's older, so you get a little washy fuzziness for sure.
A lot of interference.
Yeah,
yeah.
We got the little paddle thing, but it's still Go play a festival or a big stage, we have to like turn off everybody else's system.
Turn them all off. Yeah.
Which I don't think that they like that very much.
Yeah, but it's like Tyler Leaf was telling me, he's like, man, in the Texas scene, he's like, do not be afraid to ask us, the bigger bands, like to turn our stuff off.
Oh, for real?
He's like, it's common courtesy. He's like, just ask us. Like,
oh, okay.
We're not going to get mad. He's like, yeah, you go out there, some of those Nashville guys, they might get a little more mad about it, but he's like, you ain't going to make us mad. He's like, that's just kind of the thing around here.
Yeah.
But because it does make a difference.
No doubt. You got like the guy on the far side of the stage that's just waving you down during the show. He's like, I don't got anything.
Ain't got anything. Yeah. We were playing with somebody the other day, and we asked them to turn it off during the sound check because we had like nothing.
Yeah.
And halfway through our set, we're in the middle of Take Away This Pain, and they turned it on. Gosh. And it was, like zero. I pulled all my ears out. I didn't know everybody lost it. I thought it was just me. So I'm in the talk back like, hey, I lost everything. Well, they couldn't even hear what I was saying because they didn't have anything either.
Yep.
And so our tour managers run into their bus, beating on the door, and they come back over there, and he's like, man, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm so sorry. And they turned it right back off. And then it was great. But yeah, all of Take Away This Pain, pretty much all the way through it, we didn't have nothing. And the mains were like so far out front.
Oh, so yeah, so you couldn't
hear anything. No, it's okay.
Were y'all playing to click?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess so the drummer didn't, but I guess if he didn't hear it, it didn't matter anyways.
Yeah, we did. We pulled through it. Everything was fine. It was just really hard to understand in that moment what was actually going on because, like I said, the mains were so far out front. Like my vocal, I had nothing other than the feeling in my chest. You know, the mains were gone. They were out there.
Pull out your ears?
Oh, completely. Both of them. Yeah.
Are you pretty good about not taking them out?
On this new system, yeah. The old system, I'd pull it out sometimes when I couldn't get things to sound right. I'd be fighting it, and I couldn't maybe get enough strong, kick drum or something in my ear. Then I'd pull it out.
Yeah.
Like not only do I have I have quite a bit of click in my ear, but I really got to be able to feel them drums too.
Yep.
Like Chase's kick and the snare, kick, snare, and click.
You don't put any hi-hat. Well, I guess if you have the click.
Yeah, I got all the drums that I'm talking about. I got like the kick and the snare really up in the mix as opposed to the rest of the kit, And if I can't hear that well, then I'll pull the ear out just so I can feel his kick drum or the snare.
Yeah.
So,
if you had to choose, it's probably not this like binary, but do you enjoy like writing and recording music or the performance side of it more?
Man, yeah, that's a tough one. I do enjoy the writing and recording and, especially the past couple projects where it's really finally come together. And the one we just finished up, it's been my favorite by far just because I think I finally found what I've been looking for this entire time, sound wise.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. And then I think when you got a great performance, like this past Friday night, we played in Schulenburg, Texas. It's the national party of Texas. And I mean, just a killer crowd singing every song back, just screaming their lungs out. And we did the encore Ranch Girl Dream.
Yeah, I think I saw the video.
And it was crazy. But when you play a show like that and you can really feel good about it, then I do love the performance aspect. But when you're driving all the way back from wherever you're at, and maybe it wasn't the best show, maybe it was a lighter crowd than what you thought was going to be there or something like that, you're like, man, what am I doing right now?
We've played a couple of those together.
Yeah.
I have one seared in my brain.
What's that?
I can't really give the town. It was in Texas, though.
It was in Texas?
Uh-huh.
I just don't remember. How long ago?
Well, it was when we did, I'm trying to think. It was, a year ago.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Man, but it was like they all blend together.
It was like a little festival thing, but we did sound check, and it was like a big metal building, of course. But behind the stage, they had the rolling door.
Yeah.
And during sound check, they had it open, and then when we went on, they shut it.
Right,
so we got up there, and it was just
like,
yeah,
your ears.
But then it was like a whole, a Hawaiian themed party.
Yeah.
It was a weird one.
Yeah, you'll play those, man. As we say in our band, you'll get that on them bigger jobs. I don't know. It's just times like that when you're driving back in the middle of the night.
We're like, I love writing songs.
Yeah. I don't even think about that whenever I'm driving back from somewhere. But then also you got to appreciate those times too. And I think honestly that playing stuff like that for the past 3 years or so. I feel like I've grown mentally and,
makes you tough
as a person.
Totally.
Like I feel like I know exactly who I am because of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It really it makes you really decide if you want it.
Oh, it does.
Right?
Yep. And not just music. I'm just talking about in life. Like, my character and who I want to be. You learn who you want to be out there real fast,
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, there's just there's a lot of emotions on the road, and the pre-show fun or the pre-show drive or whatever. Maybe it's fun, and then all of a sudden you get into a slump, and then it's high on stage, and then when you get off, you got the post-show loneliness, and then 30 minutes later you're back in the van headed to Whataburger with the guys, and you're laughing about something somebody said. It's up and down, up and down, up and down all day, all night. And a lot of time by yourself and a lot of time to think too. Mm-hmm. And, you'll realize real fast who you are when you're thinking just all night long driving like, man, what are we doing out here? And you learn who you are and why you're out there, Yeah. I think for sure.
Yeah. It creates the mental toughness.
Oh, it does. You got to be tough out there mentally because, man, it'll beat you down.
Yeah. Because there's other stuff coming in there where it's like, bass guy doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Freaking whatever. Guy quits a week before.
Right.
Can't get this done. People just move so quickly in and out of your life.
Right.
That's actually what I have the hardest time with is people coming in to the fold and you want to really include them and make them a part of it.
Yeah.
But then it's like at any moment they can just be like, all right, see ya.
Yeah, man, I've been very blessed. To not have any guys just check out on me. Anybody who's ever left, I've, unfortunately had to let them go, but, which is a tough thing to do in itself because it is like a family out there almost when you do bring them in and they're part of it for so long, but, I've been very blessed to not have guys, anybody that's been flaky or anything like that. I mean, and they're
Did you have the early on stuff where guys like no showed and all that?
Not really no show. No, we never had anybody no show or anything. Like I said, I've been blessed from day one to have guys that been right there ready to roll. Totally. I haven't had any problems with it. It's been hard to find, that kind of guy, those guys there, but yeah, they're with me.
So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Oh man, I have no idea.
No idea at all. I feel like there's probably a little bug in you that would want to go rodeo pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of my goal, but it kind of got put on the back burner right there last year of college, even the year before my junior year of college, because the music I was just kind of starting to play some little acoustic stuff and just playing around with it. And, yeah, that's all I ever did, like growing up, that's all we ever did. I'd get home from school and we'd go down there and we'd rope all night, or not all night, till 10 o'clock, and then go to school and come home and do it all again the next day, every day, and go to a rodeo on the weekends, and high school rodeos, CPRAs, and I did buy my permit for going to pro shows there, I guess my junior year of college. And, yeah, I guess that'd probably be the biggest bug, or I don't know if it's really a regret, because my goal is to where I can get this music thing, big enough, man, take it as far as I can take it, to where I can have the comfort to, man, just go have fun at it.
Totally.
Because, and I've been able to do that now, too,
Right.
It's taken a lot of the pressure off. I wish I didn't have any pressure. If I didn't have that pressure whenever I was full-time rodeoing, like that I put on myself,
yeah,
then shoot,
dude, that's like
I would have went on pretty big.
You probably know Tyler Halverson, right?
Yeah.
The singer gets a check every rodeo.
He does, man. Every single one. Yep.
That's a great line.
It's Jake Murphy sent me that song. We were driving and I listened to it. And I was like, oh my God, he wrote the perfect song.
Yeah, I love that song. That's a cool cat, man.
Yeah, I've never met him. We've talked a little bit on the phone, and he's actually opening up the Twisted J for us in November.
Oh, heck yeah.
So
we all need to do something together.
Yeah, we do.
It would fit good.
It would do really well.
I did a little acoustic thing with him at Twisted J not that long ago.
Yeah.
He's cool. I like his music, man.
Really? Yeah, his music's just awesome, man. He's just he's got that writing style that's, I don't know what the word is for it, but it's like this, I don't know. It's just very unique. Mm-hmm. I love it. I mean, I love every one of his songs. I can listen to them all day.
Yeah, and it's him singing it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great consistency throughout all of it and everything.
Yeah, dude.
It's great.
So do you, I would imagine you always team rope too, right?
I did. Yeah. I mainly calf roped.
Okay.
But then I did team rope. Yeah. I headed. I don't do much healing at all.
Yeah.
Unless somebody just needs me to haze.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll swing her up and haze for you. But yeah, no, I always calf roped mainly.
Have you been up here much to Decatur?
Like rodeoing up here?
Yeah, or just hanging out or anything like
I haven't hung out up here much. No, I mean, we've passed through all the time and stuff, but never really stopped in too much. I want to say we played a show here or close to here somewhere. We stayed in Decatur one night, my old tour manager's house. But yeah, I don't think we played here. Maybe it was just nearby.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite story about you is I don't know where the rodeo was at, but you played
Stockdale.
The rodeo?
Yeah.
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 Can you please tell that story?
Yeah, man. We were down in Stockdale, Texas. It was us and Mickey and the Motor Cars, and then Flatland was the headliner that night. And yeah, I ended up in the calf roping there at Stockdale, and Big Al drug the rig down there, and we got 2 rigs down there. We're real big now.
Heck
got the music rig and the horses in one, and went down there and ended up second in the rodeo, and that was Saturday night. So yeah, I knew like right then that I was gonna. Yeah, it was Saturday, so that was the last perf. Yeah. So I roped and ended up second, and then we went over there, and 30 minutes later, I walked on stage with crap all over my jeans and everything, and
what a badass.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was really fun, and I got to do that on Saturday also. This past Saturday, I wasn't on not Saturday, Friday at Schulenburg. I wasn't up the same night, but I entered the slack on Thursday night. Went over there.
Yeah, that would be perfect, dude. If you could do like Friday, well, yeah, that would be tough to do, but yeah, if you could just go and slack.
Right, I've been trying to. I told my family, I was like, I'm going to enter at least 3 CPRAs before the end of the summer.
Go for it.
Just to do it. I said, I'm going to enter slack only. Just go over there and rope, go home. And I entered Taylor a couple weeks ago, and then I entered Schulenburg this past Thursday. And then I got a couple more on the books I'm looking to see if we can make. But
how'd you do at those?
No good.
Yeah.
Well, I was like 1 out at Taylor. I messed my tie up pretty bad. I should have been right there. And then I was like 9-9 or something. And then at Schulenburg, I was late. I ended up being 10.
How much are you normally roping? Are you still like practicing a lot or what?
Not enough. Not as much as I should be.
Yeah.
But
come on. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I try to rope during the week quite a bit, but man, it's been so hot, to be honest with you.
That's true.
But it's kind of funny to say this, but I'm a Fair Weather Cowboy. That's the title of our upcoming album. And it's Fair Weather Cowboy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
A little self-doubt. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of funny but it's been so hot. I'm Fair Weather Cowboy, man. I ain't getting out there roping right now.
Yeah,
you know? But I got a little young horse at the house I need to be roping on more. So.
How old is it?
He's like 5, I guess. I just got him back from Ricky Canton's a couple months ago. He had him for 3 months, I guess. And he kind of took him over the edge for him that I just didn't have the time to push him over where he needed to be. And we were gone all the time and just couldn't put the consistency on him. And so I sent him to Ricky's and got him back. And now I need to be putting in the time on him.
Did you like start a lot of your young ones like growing up, or who did y'all send them off? Or what?
Man, we didn't, all these people or all the kids, whenever I was growing up and stuff, you know who they were or whatever. They were buying these $50,000 horses or $100,000 horses. That was never me. We had to make every horse that I had. Not really me making them. I was young and clueless at the time, but between my dad and like the horse that I still ride today, we bought her from a good family friend, and he's actually our horseshoer, Aaron Brandt. And he sold her to me whenever I was in the 7th grade, I guess, like the end of 7th grade. And I sent her to Ricky Canton's, and he kept her the entire summer. And I got her back that fall, and it just was. She was ready to roll. And I think we bought her for like $4,000 and swapped another little colt for her. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the only one I've ever ridden in the calf roping from then on. I mean, I've tried some different horses, and we ended up buying one in college, and that was the most we ever paid for a horse at the time. We paid $15,000 for one in college. And I remember thinking that was crazy, because I had never done anything like that, and because everything we'd ever had, we'd made or bought them cheap and then made them into what they were. Sure, it's the only way we could do it. We weren't rich or anything like that. So
and prices have even gone up from there.
Oh, now. It's crazy now. Just in the time that I've been out of the loop, the past 4 years, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, dude. But I think it's part of like the general economy. It's just everything's gotten expensive.
Yeah, gas and everything. It's crazy.
They'll probably come down at some point. I'm actually surprised the prices haven't come down quicker. Like with hay and fuel and all that.
Right.
It's like, gosh, who can, like a 3-string alfalfa up here, I think it was like $30-something bucks.
Right.
Who the heck is a round bale was like 175.
Yeah.
It was like 90 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things though, that no matter what it's costing, they're still going to.
You think so?
And I think everybody knows that. It's just in your mind, like it's just a lifestyle, Yeah. Doesn't matter what your lifestyle or how much it's going to cost you. Like you got to have that, so you keep buying it.
That was early on, that was one of the big reasons that I thought it'd be a good idea to get into horseshoeing.
Right.
As my brother-in-law was a horseshoer. So I started working for him at the end of high school. And so he would have started really building his business probably in like 08, 09.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been like right in the middle of that recession.
Yeah.
And that's like when his business got bigger.
Yeah. Man, I think Rodeo did pretty good in that time. I know like my dad has said, my family's had the Cowboy Sports News Rodeo magazine. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
your dad?
That's my dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they had it for 30 years, and we just shut it down this past November, or maybe it was last November, whatever it was. It was just time, being a magazine in today's age, and it's it's a changing world now. And he was just tired, and 30 years is a long time to do a magazine. So, but anyways,
that's kind of probably a little sad too, though, because at the end of it, it's like all of a sudden a new technology comes in that almost makes it obsolete.
Yeah, but it was good to us and my family and everything, and it served its purpose and everything. But I don't even know where I was going with that anymore.
No, you were saying he had the magazine, but then he shut it down.
And talking about in 08, that was like the best years for the magazine, because like Rodeo was still thriving through all that. Even like right now, prices are high, but Rodeo's still going along. Everybody's still buying that.
I don't know how
it's high.
Credit cards.
Yeah. I know.
I'm a little worried.
A credit card or
no?
what?
I mean about
the economy in general.
Well, the rodeo community.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're getting them down the road.
Yeah, I know what it costs me to go down the road, and I don't know. I almost feel like sometimes our expenses are a little more. You know
what?
With paying your employees and your gas.
Well, maybe more than like a rough stock guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It ain't more than barrel racers. I can tell you that.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know.
But you are right.
It is so much money. I mean,
yeah.
I still feel like I'm in that industry enough. You know, like we're doing the same thing. You know, we're going down the road. We're getting to the rodeo early. We're sitting around. You've got all this dead time. You're just sitting around there waiting. Then your one run happens. Then you load up. You drive back home. It's the same deal as rodeo. You know, you're paying the same gas bill.
Yep.
And everything like that. So
yeah.
It's the same lifestyle for sure.
No doubt. That's why they've always gotten along.
Yeah.
Like musicians and rodeo people.
Right.
I've noticed recently, though, that it doesn't seem like there's as much of a connection as there used to be.
As of the two? Right.
Yeah. You know, like growing up, like looking at like the Chris Ledoux stuff or even George Strait, it's like those dudes were like right in the thick of it.
Well, the music's changing too. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to think that I can be involved with it as much as I can in the future, you know, and be a good advocate for it too, because I think there needs to be more good advocates for rodeo.
I would agree.
And if, you know, the music were to help me do something like that, then great. But
totally.
You know.
What do you think is the biggest issue with rodeo right now?
Issue? Oh, man.
Well, no, I mean issue in the sense of like why people are shying away from it, why it's not growing as much as we would like. What do you think are the main reasons for that?
I don't think I have the answers, but I think it just takes common sense from everybody, though, you know? I mean, and it's, you know, not everybody's out there acting a fool or anything, but, you know, just present yourself in the best way possible, you know? You still see it at jackpots and stuff, you know, people acting fools sometimes. And, smaller stuff, you know, I think it takes apart from everybody and not just being stuck in, you know, the old ways or something.
Okay.
Know?
Yeah.
It is a changing world, you know, and there's not going to be any going back to anything. You can't get around that. So if it's going to change, and you got to learn to adapt to it and present it to the new world, you know?
Yeah. There probably does need to be a little bit more of a welcoming atmosphere.
Right.
You know, I struggled with that a little bit. I mean, I grew up out here, so I was around a ton of guys that obviously rodeoed and did it at a high level, but I wasn't into it, and my family's not into it at all.
Right.
It's like I didn't even know how to put a halter on a horse till I was into high school.
Right.
And then I had somebody show me, right? And then I ran with it from there, but it was all self-taught.
Right.
But a lot of that culture in that industry, there's like almost kind of gatekeepers with it.
Yeah.
And I get it because it is so steeped in history. But you can't be like a douche about it. Yeah. Like if somebody doesn't know or understand it and they admit it, like you can't like make them feel like a moron.
Right. I think it's just, it's easy to judge, you know, and maybe a lot of people don't have the inner power to kind of overcome that, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, there's a lot of people that are like that, but I think there's just as many that do help, you know, and that are accessible.
Totally. If you're honest with them.
Yeah.
Which I like. Like if you come in bumping your gums and you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That ain't cool.
Yeah. Then they're just going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're honest, man, I need some help. I want to get into this. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Most people are pretty cool about it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there's a lot of, you know, team ropers. The team roping industry is kind of like an industry in itself. And there's a lot of that, you know, there's guys that have never seen a horse.
Totally.
And they're trying to team rope, you know.
Yeah, and look what's happening to the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
Yep.
At those low numbered rope-ins, I mean, good heavens, the amount of money you can win.
Yeah.
Which is great. You're just getting so many people involved.
Right.
It's awesome. It's good for the horses.
It's kind of like, you know, the Dale Brisby thing too, you know, all his intern stuff on there and everything. Like, you know, that's kind of bringing in the outside world to that. I think it's pretty neat. You know, he's not discriminating. You know, he's got those interns are from everywhere. You know, and they come from all walks of life. I've never even seen a cow to, he's got that, the Jordan on there, and she was a bull rider, female.
That's the chick riding bulls, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of a bad little cat, isn't she?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think that's funny how on the TV show, before the TV show came out or the Netflix show, they had to like keep her face covered on all the posts for like, it was a long time.
Before it came out?
Yeah, because she had been working there and like doing the show, filming it. So anytime that they were trying to keep it all a secret, so anytime they would like take a Snapchat or something and she was around, they'd have to cover her face.
Oh, really?
And then finally when the Netflix show came out, they were like, hey, this is whose face has been covered for the past year.
Oh, it was probably great marketing, honestly.
Yeah. It was just, it was like another thing to talk about,
That dude's a freaking genius, man.
He's awesome, man. And
do you know him pretty well?
Yeah, I know Leroy pretty good, man.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
I actually wrote Wine and Weed with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Leroy, he come down to the house and spent a couple days, and we picked around on some songs. And pretty much when he was like leaving the house that day, he's like, "Hey, I got this song idea. We need to see if we can do something with it." I was like, "Man, why didn't you tell me?"
When he was leaving?
Yeah, when he was leaving.
Oh gosh,
like man,
that kind of sounds like him though,
right? And so it was a few months later or something. I picked around on the idea and pretty much wrote that song there, and I sent it to him, and I was like, "What you think?" And yeah, man, he had the main idea for it. It wasn't my idea, so
Stealin Songs.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to this one. This is insane. This kind of a side note, just because I just said that. I had a kid that played fiddle with me like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't even have any music out. And I think I had one single that came out. And he was kind of playing with me, just playing acoustic stuff.
Right.
And then he just ended up being an odd duck, and I had to get rid of him.
Right.
Long story short. So you fast forward to now. I guess it was probably like a year ago. Got a new guitar player. I guess he meets this old fiddle player at a bar or something. Mm-hmm. And this fiddle player starts telling him yeah, most of those songs Jarrod has. He's like, right here.
No.
I swear. And so my guitar player is telling me that he met this guy. I'm like, who is this guy? And he said that a lot of the, the riffs in the songs and a lot of those songs I wrote after I even knew him.
Right.
But he flat out was in a bar telling this cat that he came up with a lot of the ideas, and I was like, so
you're gonna have to tell me afterwards this guy's name.
Yeah, you'll
because I had almost the same thing.
Really
happened to me. I ain't gonna say no names or what song or anything like that, but somebody claimed that I stole High Tonight and that it was their song.
Really?
So
what level, I guess, is this guy at? Just a note, kind of nothing happening?
Yeah.
Really? Did he just, but of course he probably didn't say it to you.
Go on to me.
Dude, I'm so not into it.
Yeah. The lawyers were coming out, apparently.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know him already?
Mm-mm.
Just rando?
Random. Said it to a friend of mine. And,
oh.
Yeah.
How weird.
Yeah, it was still a weird deal.
What's the end game?
Yeah, I don't know. It's telling you it's my song.
Yeah, you could probably show the timestamp on your voice memos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Wrote it floating down the Frio River. So
yeah,
I stopped on the bank next to a rope swing and I sang it to the group that we were with. I was like, "Hey, I wrote the second verse of that song. Listen."
How
sang
funny.
It right there. And then, the next week we recorded it. But yeah, I guess it was his song first.
Dude, that's so weird. That kid that did that to me, I ended up calling him after every show at 2 a.m.
Really?
I would FaceTime him and I would call him and he never picked up. Because I was just going to be like.
It's a weird deal, man. I don't know. I don't understand anything like that. Why would they want to do that?
Or they do, I'm sure you've started having the accounts, whatever it's on, TikTok, Instagram, where it's fake accounts.
Yeah, of you.
Using all your stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to look at.
I've had quite a few of them, yeah.
And then we had one on TikTok, and they were just sending this message out to everybody. But it wasn't anything just overtly weird, but it was weird.
Right.
It's clearly not me. And so I reported the account, but they reported me back.
Oh my gosh.
So my account got suspended.
Really?
Yeah, dude. We would post a TikTok and it would get 0 views.
Oh no.
Literally 0 for days. And we just have to wait.
Wow.
Because somebody made it. So now I just let the fake accounts go.
Man, that's something I kind of stress about. Not really stress about it, but I do think about it. You see, like, it seems like this week, honestly, I've seen so many Instagrams get hacked where they do like the, invest with me and they start posting on these people's accounts. Like, look how much money I've made and all this, but it's fake,
Yep.
And they're getting hacked. But I feel like this week I've seen like 4 or 5 accounts get hacked like that. And
why do you, I don't know how they.
Yeah, it's kind of like, man, am I at risk?
Probably.
How do they get in? Because my password is, just as normal or simple as these other people, just because I have more followers or something doesn't mean that I'm not at risk of getting like that.
I know your password.
I think even like, you're the one that's going to hack me.
I mean, it's been me, dude. That guy talking about your songs.
Oh, yeah.
That was me.
That's you. I got you. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of stressful. Like,
for sure.
That's
they can get into a lot of.
I hate that we rely so much on social media, but we do. And if that were to go like that, just gone back to zero, you have to start a new account.
Double-edged sword. Like, it's the only reason I've had anything happen for me. But at the same time,
yep.
I don't know. I really like people listening to my music and all that, but sometimes, you'll get those messages where it'll be like, I don't know, like, I wish, they're saying like, man, I wish I had your life, or, something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's doing to them, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, go live your life, man. Like, go focus on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I would never want, like, what I'm doing to, like, make somebody feel bad about their own life.
Right.
Right? So, like, happens with chicks a lot. You got these ladies that, give them credit, like, they look incredible, right?
Right,
but
on
it's
social
like,
media.
Yeah. And a lot of it's Photoshop, too.
Yeah.
And then you got girls that are they just get destroyed because of it.
Yeah.
Can't even be in their own skin.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even going to lie. A lot of it's not Photoshopped, but like, I try to make my post look as good as I can. That's part of the marketing strategy.
Well, yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you're not like shaving off.
No, I'm not building my
your
muscle or shaving off this belly here, but, we'll retake a picture 10 times. I
have seen you put a little bulge right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, I do that all
Carson,
the time.
You're being a little generous.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that
making
behind
us
the
guys
scenes.
feel bad.
Right? Yeah. No, but we'll retake a picture like 10 times or something to make it right,
Sure.
and to get the best look of it,
Yeah.
So then it's the same way with like all those girls and stuff that are posting that stuff, and then somebody's looking at you like you're better than them or something. Like, man, it is a marketing platform and I'm marketing the best look, so you got to look at it that way. But yeah, people shouldn't look like that's real life. It is real life, but it's not. The picture is not real life.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
When you take this picture, we're getting the best look of the picture.
Yeah, dude, it's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
It's totally a highlight reel.
Like, I'm not out there faking what I'm doing. If I'm roping that day.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make the picture look right when we take it.
Yeah, and there's things that they don't see. Like, they don't see you, like, mucking stalls or feeding horses or wrapping a foot because it's got an abscess, taking it to the vet and paying $1,000 getting injected. Like, they don't see all the stuff. It's not really very fun.
Yeah.
So it's just a highlight reel, but it's a little bit deceiving. But it's not intentionally deceiving. Some people are intentionally deceived.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. It's deceiving, but it's not, at least ours is not intentional. It's
right. Well, mine is. But
it's, yeah.
So I got my foam cup shirt on.
Right.
Dude, you won't even believe how many people will say, it's actually right when I walked in today. They'll be like, man, that shirt.
I want to say I've seen you wear it before. Have you got it recently or is it old?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've worn it to some shows.
I think I've seen you in it.
But they'll say it like it's like shocking news. And they'll be like, dude, that shirt's like it's like, do you remember those cups? And I'm like, no way.
Really?
Is that really what it is?
I thought I was just getting a cool graphic.
That's all I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wore it to LJT, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very excited.
LJT or the shirt?
LJT.
Oh, okay. Or both.
No, I was excited about LJT because of the shirt.
Right. Yeah. That's a cool deal there.
Oh, man, it's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to play like a whole bunch of other big festivals, but LJT, dude, that place is awesome.
Yeah, we played this year on Wednesday night, I think. and Randy Rogers was the headliner that night, and we actually we headed back home that night. So I left like Randy Rogers. I think he played it was like right when he was getting his last song in. We all loaded up and we were headed out or whatever, and I didn't even see him walk on stage or anything, and I wasn't paying attention. I was like side stage way off over by like where the merch building is for his set. Yeah. And so, I could like see him from a distance or whatever, and I was listening and everything, and I wasn't paying attention. And we load up and we're headed home, and about an hour later, I start getting these messages and stuff, and they were like, man, that was so cool. Randy was wearing your shirt up there. I was like, what? Oh, what are you talking about? Man. And I got it, and then finally they got me a close-up picture, and he had Carson Jeffrey shirt on. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And I didn't even notice, and I was watching the show. I didn't even notice he had it on.
That is funny. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you weren't like expecting him to do it or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got it, who gave it to him, or they had to have given it to him that day, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I don't know who would have brought it to him, or if he was going out there earlier in the day and looking, or I don't know.
Yeah, you'll probably so this last year I played the Saturday, but the year before I was on the Wednesday. Yeah. So I bet this year coming up you'll be on like. Have they talked to you again?
I haven't heard anything yet. No.
Have you met Larry yet? I'm sure you have.
I didn't.
Oh, for real?
No, I never even saw him around there.
We need to try to get on the same day out there.
Yeah,
I'll introduce you to Larry. He's a cool cat.
I kept looking for him and never really saw him all because of course they have the other stage going on right before us, and then afterwards I was like out in the crowd pretty much the whole time. We kind of went and hung out there, but so I wasn't really backstage a whole lot. But
you've made it on a bunch of big festivals the past couple of years, haven't you?
Man, haven't been on too many of them. I mean, LJT, Music Fest.
You've already been at Music Fest?
1 year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This past year. It was my first year to be on the bill. Yeah. I mean, I've been for the past, I guess this year was like my 5th year.
Do you ski?
4th year. I ski.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I snowboarded one time whenever I was little, and it's too much work. Like when you get to a dead spot and you got to push yourself along.
Oh, for sure.
Not about that.
Yeah. You got to keep the speed up.
Yeah. But skiing, if you get to a dead spot, you can kind of get along pretty easy.
Totally.
But that snowboarding, like I was dead. I was like laid out like this. I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I took them back and traded them in for skis that afternoon. One day, that's all I lasted.
Or you catch your edge one time and slam on a snowboard.
Man, I wasn't bad though. Like really? I was fine.
Did you like do some wakeboarding or skateboarding or anything growing up?
Yeah, like I mean, I tried to ride little skateboards whenever I was a kid, but I did like a lot of skimboarding.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty good at that, but
that'll help.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a big deal, but it was just too much work. I was like, forget this, man. I'm trading it in.
Totally. I love that steamboat. We went one time.
Yeah.
Man, that was so cool.
It's awesome.
Dude, it's the coolest. I want to play that so bad.
It's a lot of fun, man. And like we were talking before we started talking earlier, it's like the people with the Vita drip thing or whatever, the IVs, I can see why they get them because, man, at the end of the week, you're just like, you are dead. Yeah. It's like being in Vegas for the finals.
Yeah, except you're like, you're
freezing cold.
Well, and all day you're like doing something very physically active.
Well, the shows start at noon. So your only time to really, if you want to ski and enjoy the skiing, you have to do it in the morning.
Right.
So you're up till 3 a.m, and then you get up at 7 to go ski.
Dehydrated.
And you grab you a quick bite to eat.
You're at 10,000 feet.
At lunch. And then, you ski all morning, which is exhausting in itself. And you're freezing cold. You need a shower. And then you watch shows until 3 o'clock. Or you watch shows till midnight, and then you're hanging out till 2, 3 in the morning. And it's pretty tiring.
Yeah, that's a week recovery for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's like a full, by the time the day before when you arrive and then to the day after when you leave, it's like 6 days or something.
It's really that long?
It's a long time. Maybe
when y'all went,
it is 6.
When y'all played, were you out there like most of the whole time?
Like, did I stay the whole time?
Yeah. How long were you there?
Oh, yeah. No, I stayed the whole time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the way that I would want to do it. I'd get out there at the beginning.
Some people leave like after they play, but no, I'll never do that. It's such a mingling thing, like what's the word I'm looking for? Exposure. I don't want to say that word,
the first year we went, I guess it would have probably been 2017. And I sat in the lot, or I did the little open mic thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there. That's right. We did it together.
We did?
I don't think I played on the day that you sang it. Maybe you did it multiple days, but that was the first year I went to Steamboat, and I ended up playing at the open mic the last day.
Really?
I sang up there. But I remember you went up there and you sang. Yep.
You were like in the room or something?
Yeah, I was like on the front row.
Dude, I was so nervous.
And I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Hey, I was so nervous. And I was so hungover.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those too where you're like, you don't know if you're nervous or just hungover.
Yeah.
Because you're just so shaky.
Right.
So it's like probably a combination of the two.
Yeah. The first 3 years of going up there and playing that open mic. Yeah. I don't know what it was about that room, but I would get so nervous.
Would you really?
Like to the part where I couldn't even function.
Yeah, dude.
That's the most nervous I think I've ever been, is probably playing that Music Fest open mic.
High five over that.
Yeah.
That is me for sure.
I don't know what it was about it. That's not even a lie. I mean, that's...
BJ Barham was standing over on the side.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other just scattered in there just watching. Dude, I was like deathly nervous.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. You feel the pressure. And they get up there and they're like, all right, next up, Carson Jeffrey.
That type of stuff's always freaked me out, though.
What's that?
Like I get more nervous at a show if there's not that many people there than if there's a bunch of people.
I do too, yeah.
So,
because if there's a bunch of people there, you know they're going to have a good time. There's no pressure. Just go out there and do your job.
Totally.
But if it's less people, you got to work at it. And you got to be like, hey, y'all going to cheer?
Absolutely.
You know? But anyways.
And that was the most nervous I've ever gotten. I was butchered. I did so bad that...
I don't think so, because I left there. I was like, man, who's this guy?
You really remembered that?
Yeah, you played the coyote.
How? I did.
You did.
How? Wow.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
That means a lot that you would even know that.
I do.
Sorry to be such a letdown once you met me.
Oh, man. No.
So, I felt so bad about that, my performance, that I told Jess, my wife, I don't even think we were married yet. We weren't quite married yet. And I was like, I have to, like, I'm going to go in the lobby and just put out my little tip jar and I'm going to play just to like feel like I redeemed myself.
Right.
So I sat there for probably 2 hours in the lobby of the Grand.
Really?
And I have a song called Steamboat Springs, like talking about that actually.
Really?
And I remember Stoney LaRue walking by.
Yeah.
And I was playing one of his songs and he was like, sounds good, brother. And that was like the coolest thing.
Right. I got to meet him this past year.
Nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
That was a crazy moment there.
Yeah. So Ben Hussey ended up, when I got in the songwriter competition at LJT, I remember Ben coming up to me like before I went on, and he said he was at that open mic too, and he heard me do Coyote.
Yep.
And he was like, "That was a really great song, man." And
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my
well, it's just a very unique song, and I just remember thinking that in the moment when you're playing it, I was like, "Man, that is really." Took a lot of thinking, very interesting.
Yeah,
you know?
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But I guess it goes to show that like you just never really know who's like kind of watching or who's in there. And
you don't, man.
And you can be very, very bad.
Yeah.
And still some good things might happen.
Yeah. And that's important too. Just like back to the part of you asked me why it maybe COVID helped me, just thinking about that. Like you dang sure don't want to be bad in front of those people. You never know who's watching.
For sure.
And if you say I would have got a show booked at like the Blue Light or something early on, and I go up there and make a fool of myself, well, you never know who's sitting in that room watching,
Yeah, it's the one first impression thing.
Yeah, you get one first impression. That's right. And I'm glad we got to take a little time to get our stuff together before we started going out there and hitting it hard.
Yeah, that's a cool way of looking at it. I think it's right. It takes some patience, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people just don't have that type of patience.
Right.
They just want to get out there and do it. But then you see some of, like, even with putting out albums and stuff, there's some of these dudes that they just so eager to do it, and then they get like a few albums in, and then they like will delete their first one.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there's been some weird stuff with that.
If it was that bad, though.
Yeah, but I feel like when I've seen it, it wasn't bad.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel like you kind of built your career on those first albums, and then you put out this new stuff, and you're like, oh no, I'm taking that off.
I would agree.
I'm not going to say I hate it. I wish I would have done so many things different on my first album. So many things different.
That's so funny.
Production wise,
really?
Songwriting, there's songs I wish I wouldn't have put on there. But
okay, but that makes sense now that I've seen you play live and I see like your full band iteration and what you're going for there.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's different than the first album. I don't know, but
because when I hear your first album and then hear the full band,
right,
I'm like, well, this isn't exactly like what
it's not
production
the same.
sounds like.
No, it's not.
So I get that, but that first record is freaking dope, dude.
Appreciate it, man. But like, I'm not ever gonna delete that. I won't, because I mean, Ranch Girl Dreams on that album, you know. So if you take one good thing away from the whole thing, you know, the song on Why I'm Sitting Here, but yeah, I don't know that. Like I said, that whole first album, there's some things I regret, but I'll never delete it.
Right.
You know, because I mean, it's a part of you.
What do you think was the biggest thing about like production choices that you would do different?
Trying to hone in on sound more. You know, just kind of went in and cut a bunch of different songs and put them together. Didn't. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm proud of it. You know, it was me at the time, and we did it and put it out, and it got me some good things. You know. But yeah, I think everybody probably has that feeling if you could do it over, you know,
sure.
and that'd probably be the one thing. I just make it mesh a little bit more, and it was nobody's fault but my own for not knowing what I wanted.
Yeah,
you know? That's all it was. Dude. Yeah, I had no idea. I was just going in there and cutting songs that I had written in the garage, you know, in college, sitting out there on my roommate's broken couch in the garage, and I'd write some songs with the garage door open.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I stylistically liked it a lot.
The first album,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I can hear like your newest single, Cow Pissin.
Yeah.
I can hear how some like a more like rock sound, you're meshing the two pretty well together.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you just have two freaking screaming distorted guitars in your face.
Yeah.
But it thumps. But you still have some like cool production stuff.
Yeah, we still have a lot of steel guitar in it. That's something I want to keep in there. I think that's kind of I'm big on that. I like a lot of guitar, but I like to blend in that steel a lot too. Just for my ear, you know, I think that kind of makes the difference in some of my songs. But on this new record I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah.
And actually, Travis, one of my guitar players, he's gonna start playing the steel on some stuff on the at the live show.
Like he bought a
steel or what? He's had one. He's always played, but
for real?
Yeah, but you know,
is that the new?
No, my newer guitar player is Ryan Rogers.
Okay.
But Travis has been with me since almost day one. Oh, pretty much day one.
Tall guy, right?
Taller guy, long hair. Yes, sir. Great guy, but yeah, he's played steel guitar for forever, and but he's never brought it out just because it's so much to lug around, and when you're opening up and you got to tear down in 15 minutes and get the next guy up there, it's too much.
Well, and before you didn't have the second guitar player.
I didn't. No,
so
that's another factor.
It's going to be so empty.
So it never really worked. But now that we're headlining pretty much every time, and you know, we can take the time, and we have the second guitar player, so he's going to bring out that steel guitar and play it on some of like the end of the set, like Ranch Girl, Buzzbrain, some of those songs like that.
I love it
because we close on Ranch Girl every night.
You do?
Yeah, and so that'll be like his main one to play it on. So. It's really, I'm excited. I'm excited to see him play it up there.
I'm excited to hear it. I think it'll give a.
There's no lead guitar in that song on the recording. If you listen, the steel takes the entire song. There's no lead at all from guitar. And at the shows, all we do is put the guitar as the lead.
Right.
We compensate, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's just the next iteration. You're going to be able to hit some different sounds in the live set. I think that helps a listener so much. It just kind of gives them a break from a clean palette on some different sounds.
Yeah.
Like during the set.
Right. Yeah. We do a lot of the songs differently, kind of not just sound wise, but also sometimes we change up a little bit of the structure, you know, slightly.
Yeah.
And just to tailor it, to make it a show, you know, it's all about a show. So we're trying to make it a better show than just what you're constantly hearing.
And holding people's attention, man. It's hard, dude.
We're pretty happy with the set right now, but I'm really going to be happy whenever we get these new songs in there, when the new stuff comes out.
Do you have a full record cut already?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you do that one at?
Farmland Studios in Nashville.
Oh, you went to Nashie.
I did. David Dorn is a producer up there, and Caleb Fisher is the engineer. But yeah, man, we did Buzzbrain Part 1 at Melody Mountain. And then we did Buzzbrain Part 2 up there in Nashville. I actually did Take Away This Pain and Not Innocent in Nashville at that studio from the second album. Just testing the waters, whatever. Ended up coming back to Texas, finishing the whole album. And then after we did the Melody Mountain EP Part 1, we were trying to get back in there, and the timing just wasn't going to be right. We couldn't get back in there soon enough. We're like, man, we really need to get something done. So ended up calling them again and went back out to Nashville, and man, it's crazy out there.
In what way?
Just the quality of everything and the speed, and they know what they're doing, man. Yeah. Not that I'm not down in anything in Texas. I love what people do here. But man, I feel like they've been doing it a little longer out there, and it's fast, you know. And
yeah, they're definitely more diligent on probably following up and.
Well, I'm not talking about just the communication or anything, but I'm like when you get in there, and I bring them just my demo.
Oh, I got you.
I bring my demo of me. It's just me and a guitar, acoustic, and they play it on the computer, and everybody's in the control room, and you're listening. And, you've got all the studio guys sitting around and my guys. I took my guys and we had studio guys, and it was this big mashup thing. And those guys that do that for a living, they're not even like listening to the songs.
No.
They're just in there drinking coffee, talking, and then the song's over and they're like, all right, we're going to do this, this, and this. And they're like, yeah, let's roll.
So did your producer get like a session leader that charted the songs, and then the producer did?
He'd sit there and chart them while we were listening to them.
Yeah. He'd write the chart.
He'd write the chart while we're listening to the song, and then we'd talk about, okay, the song's over. Like, okay, what do you think about this? He would say, what do you think about changing this around, this chord progression? Yeah. What do you think about doing this? And we'd make those adjustments on the charts. 2 minutes later, we're tracking, and you track it
5 times.
4, 5 times, and you're done. And then maybe you got a couple little overdubs guitars here and there. Hey, maybe go hit some toms.
Yep. Drums. That is the Nashville recording session for sure. So do you feel like you like that more?
I do.
Okay. Because I'm a space cadet, so I'm like, let's sit here and hang out and let's chase down one pedal sound for 5 hours.
I'm not like that. I'd go insane, man. I go insane as it is just being in the studio because we did 10 songs in 3 days.
Yep.
And then the 4th day, I just finished some vocals. Mm-hmm. But as far as tracking, 10 songs in 3 days. And that was a lot.
Mm-hmm. And my gosh, that's a ton, dude.
We were in there all day long, and my brain was fried. I remember on the flight home, I was just buzzing. Like I was just melted.
So, but in those moments, do you feel like, because you were even saying I think on the first record, you wish you would have taken a little bit more time to chase down some sounds and hone it in a little bit more.
Yeah.
So do you feel like on the other one, you get maybe committed to it too early on the choices that you're making for the song?
On this new stuff?
Yeah.
Like the new album?
Or I just mean that style of recording. Okay, let's chart it. What do you guys want to do? Do you like this? You don't like this? Okay, let's do it. And then you bang it out. And then it's that's it.
Yeah, but it's just so good that I'm not trying to.
I guess if it's just good.
It's just good. We do maybe we'll track it twice.
Okay.
And then we'll be like, man, this isn't working. So we'll just talk about, everybody's in a separate room, but you all got your headphones on, and we'll talk about it just sitting there. And David will, okay, guys, we're going to change this around. Let's change this. And he'll tell the guitar player, hey, that's not really working. Do something else here.
Okay.
And, we'll take 5 minutes between the two sections of tracking and then say, okay, now let's try this a few more times. And then you get maybe a completely different thing.
Yeah.
We did that a lot. Okay. And that's kind of, it took us a while. We did this time around on this album, as opposed to the EP, we took a lot more time sitting in the actual rooms where we're playing to talk about what we're hearing. After we'd get done tracking one, we'd stop. Be like, man, what are we thinking here? Maybe we don't even need that intro. Maybe we need this outro. We did take more time in that.
Okay.
So, okay. Yeah. And David helped me find my sound. I mean, he really did help me find what I was looking for. There's some songs. Pissin, I love that song. It's kind of a joke in the band, really. It's just, I told him, I said, I'm going to write a song about a cow pissing on a flat rock.
I love it, dude.
Chase was like, "No, you're not. Please don't."
Oh,
and
please
I did.
don't. Tell Chase to fly a kite.
Yeah, and
get out of here, Chase. You don't know what comedy is,
right? So I did, and I love that song, but it's not like my favorite one on the album. You know what I mean? It's a good song. I love it, but there's these other songs on the album that I'm like, man, that's me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're cool.
How many's on it?
10.
Are you doing singles? How are you doing it?
I'm doing 3 singles, then we're going to drop the whole thing.
The whole thing? Mm-hmm. What made you come to that strategy?
I'm just an album guy. I like albums, and I know Spotify wants singles, so we're going to give them 3 singles of what I feel like is the commercial singles, and then we're going to drop the whole album, and like it or hate it, it's what I am. So,
but you just like the idea of releasing a bunch at one time?
Well, we're going to spread these singles out a little bit. Oh, you're talking about like the album? Yeah. Yeah, I just like albums. I don't like it whenever people are releasing singles, boom, 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 and it doesn't feel like the same project.
Oh, right.
Or not that I don't like it, but that's not how I want to look at my music.
For sure.
I want to look at my music like this block, this block, this
I agree.
block.
That's how I like it.
And if I feel like if I'm just doing, 15 singles over a year and a half, like, well, what is that?
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm doing. But I'm packaging it as an album.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to give it all at one time.
Right.
But it's all one project.
And I know that's what it wants too, the algorithm, it wants singles.
But for me, it was actually even more fun. I can sit with the songs longer. Like I still haven't finished mixing all of them, but they're all recorded.
Right.
And so there's some where I'm like, this is going to take some more work.
Right.
And I was able to push it off towards the end.
Yeah.
And then it like allows me to, and you would probably dig this. Because a lot of people don't know you do a lot of like graphic design and artwork and stuff, which is super awesome, dude. I think that's so cool. Which I think it adds to the whole thing, the whole story, the narrative around the music.
Well, it saved me a lot of money too,
for sure. I think I texted you one day or something. Didn't I ask you who did your like concert posters?
I think you did.
And you're like, that's me. Dude.
That's me.
Yeah. DIY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ain't got to pay $200 a pop for them. You just do them yourself.
I know, man.
Or shoot, sometimes way more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so like doing different like photo shoots and different graphics and things for one song, it allows me to like put a whole narrative around that one song.
Right.
Even though it's within this overarching album.
Right.
And then that's the only reason that I did it. But I don't like when it's just like each single, it's just a bunch of singles and they all just seem to be coming from all these weird directions.
Yeah.
None of like the aesthetics have any sort of similarity. I think that's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We did that too but ours is not really single specific or song specific. It's the whole album. We did a whole photo shoot and all this branding for it and promo that hasn't even come out yet, mainly for the whole album,
Oh, right.
The single, we had a couple of things come out and just the new pictures and everything. But yeah, ours was for like the whole album and then we'll move on. We'll go to that next section. Okay, well, let's get more in there. So
yeah,
I think we're going to try and do some more video work ahead of the album too, because we still have time. I'm spacing it out pretty good. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't even have a date for the album yet. I just know the fall sometime.
Oh, dang. So you're doing it pretty quick.
Yeah, I say it's a long time, but it's not. I'm spacing out these singles. I don't even know when the next one's dropping yet, but
yeah,
we're just kind of looking at this first one, seeing what's going to happen, and then we'll go at it.
You know what you should do? You should do the deal where it's like,
you're not ready for this?
No, I'll probably ruffle some feathers saying this, but I don't care. The one where it's like, I just got a feeling you guys are going to love this song. So I decided to just release it tonight.
Drop it tonight. Yeah.
I'm just going to drop it tonight. And I'm like, what? That's not how that works.
Right.
I mean, I don't think so.
I don't think I've done that. I was sitting here thinking like, have I done that? I don't think I have, but yeah.
Because you would have to upload it. And there's like lag time.
Oh yeah, you're talking about actually like that's a lie. Yeah.
I'm like, you're lying.
Right.
Like you didn't just.
Yeah, it takes 2 weeks.
You did that a month
at least.
At least 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and then you just waited to say that day.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drop it today.
Man, and a lot of times I guess people don't give it the 2 weeks, and like it'll come out on Spotify and not on Apple Music.
Yeah, I don't. That's not a good idea.
No, I've seen it happen to quite a few
So maybe
people.
some of them are like genuinely.
Right.
Just putting it out there. And I'm like, oh, don't do that.
Well, I know there is one of the distributions that does say it's overnight.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, but even for I mean, I don't know exactly how you do it, but even for Spotify, this is for like anybody listening that's like trying to get some more streams and stuff. You got to give it at least 4 weeks.
It needs time.
And then you can get on the little artist portal. I'm sure you do it.
Yep.
And you can pitch it to the editorial playlist curators on Spotify.
Yep.
Like if you're not doing that, you're not giving yourself a chance to like really make a difference.
Right.
So
yeah, it needs a lot of back end time. Nobody gets to see that, That's all ahead of the release.
Yeah. And then it's just on to the next one.
Then you just go to the next one.
Oh.
Yep.
And then the song that you just released, you wrote it, freaking God knows how long ago.
Yeah, I know. We're already talking about, I bet, I'm going to Nashville to do some writing, and I'll be writing this next stuff before the album even comes out. So,
is that are you doing a bunch of co-writing now out there? Is that what you're just feeling?
Man, this is going to be my first trip.
Yeah.
We're feeling it out, and just to kind of see what I can do with my, I haven't really done a whole lot of co-writing. Every single thing has been on my own. I feel like sometimes it's kind of hurt me in a way, especially on like the first album and stuff. But I've been pretty proud of my songwriting here lately. But I'm not opposed to making a song as best as it can be, you know. I'm definitely not against it, and I want to try it out. So we're going to go try it out.
Heck yeah.
It can't hurt you to go try it.
I don't think so. Then you probably just meet some good people.
Yeah, it's good connections, and there's all kinds of deals that can flow from that. So,
yeah, heck yeah, man. Well, I'm a fan. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
What we're gonna end up doing once you make it big, and I just sort of stay here and sustain what I'm doing.
No, man.
We're gonna be able, because my wife runs barrel horses.
Yeah,
and I'll just be the little resident horseshoer. But we'll just go rodeo.
Yeah, let's go, man.
We can go play all the rodeos.
Yeah,
you can calf rope. And then
I'll
I can be the barrel racer's husband.
Yeah, you be the barrel racer husband. I'll rope, and Tyler Housen will be singing afterwards.
and then he'll make the money.
Yeah, he's actually got the check.
I'll be out there in the parking lot making $30 tacking on shoes.
Right? Yeah, man. We do need to do something, us three together.
It'd be awesome.
Maybe even like in my head I envisioned like this, almost like a festival thing, or like a thing with us three, like
I'm in
a thing like that.
We can do it here.
Yeah,
I'm already putting on shows here.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's get it going.
I'm totally in.
Yes, sir.
All right. Carson Jeffrey, album's coming out to be announced in the fall.
Sometime.
Yeah. All right. See y'all.